Hey, how's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. And Arsenal are in the final. First final in 6 years. We are going to the Wembley. We are going to the Wembley. We're most likely gonna face Man City. They're 2-0 up against Newcastle. The game is today. We'll see what's gonna happen there, but I don't see Newcastle basically clawing back from being 2-0 down. Maybe it could happen. Maybe there is some miracle in the works. But the game, oh my god. It was frustrating as hell, I'm not gonna lie. But overall picture about this is the fact that Arsenal came out, kind of shut up shop, and set out for a draw, for a clean sheet at the end of the day. And Mikel Arteta, it was very evident because the game, there was almost no attack, there was all defense from Arsenal. Had one shot on target by the time we scored, we're gonna get to that in a second, but overall, Arsenal had a 3-2 lead coming back from Stamford Bridge, which everyone was excited about, everyone was happy at home, surely we're going to get the job done. And we did, and at the end we did, but this performance was rough. Saying that, couldn't care. I was frustrated during the game, yes, but I had to sleep on it. I was, obviously, as you can tell, I'm under the weather quite heavily, but we got the job done. And the question now rises, who is gonna beat us? Yes, I know we can go to Carabao Cup final, we can lose to City and all this stuff, but at the moment, who is gonna beat us? Because at the end of the day, Arteta trusted his team. Arteta's tactics was play defensively. We have 3-2 lead. Chelsea need to come out of their shell. They need to attack. They need to score. Come at us. Test our defense. And let's be real, we passed it with flying colors at the end of the day, because Chelsea at the end of the day, they did nothing. Yes, Arsenal were not great. There were stages where we couldn't even make a 5-yard pass. We were doing basics wrong. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter, because Chelsea were, for lack of a better word, even worse than anything. You couldn't tell that Chelsea need that goal. You could not tell. At the same time, credit to Arsenal. Credit to Arsenal's defense. Credit to Gabriel. Credit to Saliba, to Hinkapie, Timba, and the rest of the gang. They hold the fort down fully. Arteta trusted them to make it, to keep a clean sheet, to at least get 0-0, and we did it. We did it. We absolutely did it, and it was frustratingly exciting. Let's just put it that way, because semi-final should not be like this. At the same time, Arsenal, people say we were boring, we played defensively and everything, but how about the fact that maybe the other team should stop playing defensively, because they set up like that. 3 at the back the midfield and everything. They set up like that. You could not tell that Chelsea needed a goal. Chelsea's attack also is not the greatest, let's be real. If we are looking from that point of view, they can score goals for fun against certain teams, but when you come against solid, strong, compact, well-drilled defense, they struggle heavily, just like Arsenal when they play against low blocks. But that is other teams' issue. People say we're boring. I'm very frustrated with that. I talk about it almost every day, what it feels like every week. At the same time, it gets the job done most of the time, like 99% of the time. It gets the job done, because teams cannot afford, most of the teams cannot afford go attacking against us, because we're going to pick them apart without shadow of a doubt. It doesn't matter who we have in the attack, Madueke, Trossard, Martinelli, Gyökeres, Havertz, Jesus, Eze. We gonna pick them apart at the end of the day. Yes, our midfield felt like it was non-existent the first half and everything. At the same time, they didn't impose on us. They didn't pose any threats. At home, we were dominant defensively, more specifically. We were very dominant defensively. They did nothing. Yes, Eze was yikes. And it came to a point where during the first half, I tweeted it out, I put it in group chat, the fact that I actually want Kai Havertz to come on. You know my thoughts about Kai Havertz, right? If you've been on the channel long enough. But Havertz came on, and he sunk Chelsea, ironically enough. I think that's an extra blow to Chelsea, I'm not gonna lie. Even if Madueke scored as well, if he had a chance, oh my god, I think Chelsea would go on a complete meltdown. But overall, Arsenal did a fantastic job. In my opinion, Arsenal did a fantastic job. Attacking wise, yes, it was not great. Defensive wise, spot on. Kepa had to make 1, maybe 2 saves. That's about it. They did nothing. right? Their goalkeeper as well from Kinkapia's shot made one good save. That's about it. We didn't do anything in the attack. Chelsea didn't do anything in the attack. It was one of the worst semifinals I have seen. I'm gonna be honest with you. At the same time, as I said, we didn't need anything from this game besides a draw or a win. And it was all on Chelsea. All the pressure in this instance, most of the time, was on Chelsea. Because I had that feeling that the longer it stays 0-0, more pressure is going to be on Arsenal. And obviously on Chelsea as well, but more on Arsenal to keep that clean sheet, because if Chelsea score, and if Arsenal cannot score as well, it's going to extra time, and if it's more the same, it goes to penalties, and then it's basically to some degree luck of the draw, right? But it didn't go to that, because Chelsea didn't create waves of chances. Arsenal completely annihilated them. They felt like they had those half moments, they could do something, but it never materialized into anything, just because of our sheer defense and arguably lack of the quality. They got a very dangerous free kick in 70-something minute for Palmer or Enzo to take, and Palmer just smashed it into the wall. Chelsea's plan as well, they had 5 at the back. In the second half, they went to 4 at the back. The plan apparently in 70th minute was to sub on Estevao, Palmer, and then just execute it, score, and then see what happens. But nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then in 96th minute, Arsenal go on the counter. Good pass by Trossard, Declan Rice to Havertz. Havertz takes their own Sanchez. And 1-0. Arsenal 4-2 advance into the final. At this stage, it's very, very weird. I know it's a bit of a chest coming out, and kind of understand why. I think I can understand why, because it's coming out from myself as well, because defensively, yes, we showed that we were solid. People say, yes, it's Chelsea, but you only compete what's in front of you, and Chelsea did nothing. And if we look at the grand scheme of things, as long as we don't play like this continuously in Premier League, because it will cost us long term, because for 1-2 games, it works. Long term, it's not sustainable, let's be real, right? But we're going to get our chance in Premier League. Obviously, we play Sunderland over the weekend. As long as this type of performance doesn't convert to that, I'm fine, right? Arsenal, I don't even know. I don't know what other teams need to do, specifically the big ones in these knockout stages and everything, to actually get rid of us. Because once again, we proved that defensively, we are unstoppable. In terms of that, it's very hard to get a shot against us. Chelsea had like almost no XG. And let's be real, Arsenal, until they scored, they had almost no XG. When we scored, obviously, they jumped sky high comparatively, right? So ultimately, yeah, players were not great. The performance, as I said, the basics sometimes didn't even felt right. We couldn't make a 5-yard pass. We had some half moments as well. Sanchez made one great save from Kinkapia's shot. Gyökeres fumbled a chance and all this stuff. It is what it is at the end of the day, right? But at the same time, we did good. We did good. First final in 6 years. Couldn't be happier. People are still talking about trebles and quads and all this stuff. And based on performance like this, we have the lead, we have the advantage, and we have this ability. And Arteta has the trust into defense and into the team to completely shut the other team down. More power to us, because we have played against some of the biggest teams in Europe. We have played against Bayern Munich, destroyed them. Atletico Madrid, destroyed them. Inter Milan away at San Siro, destroyed them. It's only in Premier League, right? And the issue is not with Arsenal, why we look so boring half the time. It's because the other teams set up defensively. They don't want the attack, because it feels like most of the teams come into the games against Arsenal thinking that if we get a draw against Arsenal, it's a good day. Because they are going for the title, they are top of the league, they are unstoppable, and if we go toe-to-toe in the attack against them, well, we might as well just forfeit right now at the end of the day, because it's going to be 2-3-4-0. And Arsenal at the moment have built in such a way that we do the job. We can get the job done no matter what the circumstances are. The depth in defense is solid. Yes, you could wish something better in the attack. Yes, definitely you could wish that Eze did 10 times more, because he was shocking. And as I said, I asked for Kai Havertz to come on. He came on and he scored a goal. And you think how nuts it is that I'm actually happy to see that Kai Havertz is coming on to score a goal. That says a lot, because you know my thoughts about Kai Havertz. But if he keeps scoring, if thanks to those goals we keep winning, win a trophy, multiple trophies, win the league, I'm gonna be happy as the next guy. I'm not gonna lie. Odegaard was not even in the team. Happy days, because I think Odegaard is not good enough. Odegaard hasn't played since Odegaard hasn't started 3 games or something in a row. We have done very good in all of them. We look much more threatening, much more direct. Obviously, with this knockout stage semi-final, it's a different circumstances, because Mikel Arteta's record over the years since winning the FA Cup 6 years ago in semi-finals was shocking. Up until this Chelsea fixture, it was 8 games, 2 draws, no wins, 6 losses, only 2-3 goals scored. And right now, we absolutely blew it out the wire. We got over the hump, and now we are into the first chance at the trophy. Obviously, if we play Man City, right, Semenyo is gonna play against us because he was signed before the first fixture of the semifinals. Gehi was signed after, so Gehi as well will not be able to play in the final of the Carabao Cup, which again means that if City have defensive issues, again, extra advantage for Arsenal. So we are in this spot where Arsenal are looking strong, are looking dominant, and they should be able to go the distance. And hopefully it happens. Genuinely, hopefully it happens. The more we can produce defensive performances like this, and when we need, we can produce proper attacking performances, we're solid. We are absolutely solid. And Mikel Arteta did a great job yesterday. Now we go to Sunderland. We go to Emirates, but we play Sunderland. As long as we don't play the same way, but we continue what Mikel Arteta said before, that we're going to be more direct, more threatening, more forward-thinking, we're going to be good. We're going to be good because I expect Foley to score. And Sunderland are very, very distinct home team as well. They haven't still lost at home, if I'm not mistaken. Away, they can be garnered. They are a bit shaky and everything. So Arsenal, again, if we win, because we play first, if I'm not mistaken, before Liverpool, because also I think Liverpool plays City. Quick side note, right? Liverpool plays City in Premier League, right? On Sunday. So that game is going to determine also a lot. So yeah, Arsenal are through. We are in the final. Couldn't be happier, despite the fact that I'm sick as hell. But yeah, let me know what you think about the game. Thought about the result. We are going to the final. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and see you guys very, very, very soon. Peace.